Welcome to episode 26 of Lucy and Puck. We bring you once again to the Summer Dream House, where the family is sleeping peacefully through the night in their newly redecorated rooms. Yes, James, the teenager, in his now much larger and more spacious room, and of course Allie, who is no longer a toddler, but she's now a child. The area that had been the place where the toddlers had lived, one after the other, is now Allie's room. And it's a wonderful thing that that phase is now gone for the Summer Dreams forever. Well, Puck, he's a restless guy, so he's going to get up a little bit early this morning. Yes, poor Puck has a lot on his mind. Of course, his failure as a career has always bothered him, has been in the back of his mind. But now, both of his kids are pretty much old enough that they can look after themselves on a daily basis, and there's no real reason for him to stay home anymore. And he really questions his role in the family. I mean, there's only so much time he even spends with his wife anymore because Lucy's so busy moving up in her career. And Puck feels, well, a little inferior even, living with her. But anyway, it's time for James to get up. Yep, he's going to take care of some, well, normal needs of people when they get up in the morning. And Puck is doing a little bit of cleaning up. Yeah, he really doesn't know what direction he wants to go in his life. He doesn't feel so good right now. He even feels that his kids don't look up to him as much as they used to. But Allie is ready to start her day. She's going to get up. And Puck decides to go for a swim. It's always good to relax and chill. And there's nothing like a good plunge in the pool to do that. Yep, definitely recommended thing. But it's only a short, brief little plunge because he wants to get back inside and begin breakfast. But Allie also likes the idea of an early morning swim. This might be the first time she's in the pool. And it's good to see that she doesn't chicken out, but oh well, your technique will improve over time, Allie. It's okay. Don't worry if you belly flop into the pool the first time. Well, James is up, and he hears Allie swimming around, so he's like, why don't I go down and join her in the pool here? But poor James, he's a little bit too afraid for whatever reason. Yeah, very self-conscious guy. And now finally Lucy awakens. Yep, she was the one who was up the longest, and she's the one who is worn out the most. But she's looking forward to a weekend of catching up on skills and spending time with her family. Now anyway, Puck might have not gotten too far in the culinary career, but he can still make a mean pancake. Now I've talked way too many times about how awesome pancakes are, but wait, I just made an impossible statement. It's impossible to talk about how awesome pancakes are for too long. Yes, pancakes are awesome now and forever. And everyone comes to eat together. Very filling breakfast for everyone. And Lucy comes to join them. Yes, it's very nice to see the entire family there, all eating together, now that they're all old enough to do it. No more toddlers in the high chair, no more bottles, no more screaming and kicking. But yes, a nice, peaceful breakfast scene on the Saturday morning. Well, with nowhere to go, they're all going to branch off into their own things. Lucy's going to play the piano. Puck needs to take care of some business. Allie's going to play some chess, get her logic up. And James, he's going to be a good guy and get started on his homework. Yes, as a knowledge sim, I'm sure he wants to do well in school, so he's going to get an early start on things, basically. So, he's writing in his book, as somebody clogs the toilet. That somebody being Puck. But that's okay, we'll fix that later. Yep. Well, James completed one assignment and he's working on the other. Of course, very pleased with himself over that. Yes, anyone would be. Well, Lucy's practiced piano enough. Now she's going to work on the main skill she's going to need for her career advancement, which is charisma. Yes, of course, for a politician or a politically oriented sim, it's a very important thing. So Sue's going to work on her diction and speaking her words. It's very nice to see every member of the family doing something productive, learning their skills, getting up there. Of course, James has all done his homework, so he's going to kick back and play some Sim Station or X Sim or whatever the hell it's called. But he's going to have some fun. And now that Puck and Allie hear the game, they decided to join in on the fun. Allie's just going to watch her brother and her father play, but Puck and James are going to play a game. Ah, yes, good way to chill, have some fun. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday morning, if I do say so. Well, Puck loses, James wins, and James is a bit bored. But he's going to go take care of some chores, plunging the toilet and such. That might help his mechanical skills. But there is something that Puck wants to do. Something, well, he was alerted to somebody in the neighborhood. Somebody he knew a long time ago moving back to the neighborhood. And, well, he doesn't want to tell anyone he's going there, so he's just going to make an excuse that he's running out to do a quick errand. Yes, but Puck has a date with his past. And he needs to see what this is. We go across town and down the street to the residence of somebody who we have seen, but not for a very long time. This is Hermia Capp. Yes, she lived in Veronaville as a teenager, but moved out long ago, striking out to make a life somewhere else. Like Puck, she loosened up with the makeup over the years, and eventually she got married as well. However, the relationship didn't work out in the end, but she remained with her son, Arnold, who lives with her today. And Hermia has just moved back to Veronaville, seeking to reestablish herself here after many, many years of absence. So, she bought a nice little house here, and she wants to see who's around, so she gets a copy of the local phone book just to see who she might recognize is still there. Yes, of course she's going to recognize all the familiar names. The Burnshoots are still there, the Rollins are still there, but she's most curious about one name. She wants to see if her old high school boyfriend, Puck, still lived there, and it turns out, yes, he does. And furthermore, right under his name is the name Lucy Summerdream, the girl he remembers that Puck left her for all those decades ago in high school. Apparently, they're still married. So, Hermia disbelieving that this could be possible, calls Oberon, Puck's father, and they talk about it. She asked him for all the details about what's going on, and she finds out that Lucy and Puck have 2 kids together, the oldest of which is now a teenager. Yes, she never much liked Lucy, and she's really surprised that Puck ended up going for her. But she wants to call Puck over to see him. It's been so long. It's been a very long time. And they really haven't communicated over the years all that much. So, time for them to meet once again. Yes. And they share a secret handshake that they have not remembered or not forgotten for all these years of living apart. Yes, it's quite amazing that they still remember it. So they exchange a big hug, and they talk, how have you been? And they tell each other, what's been going on. Puck admits to Hermia that his attempt at rising up in the culinary career was a failure, and he's pretty much become a stay-at-home dad. Ironically, Hermia herself went into the culinary career, but she has been pretty successful. She is a chef at a local restaurant. And so things have been going a lot better for her. So Hermia asks how things are with with his kids and everything, and after a while of talking, does get Puck to admit that things between him and Lucy are not quite as good as they've been. He feels overshadowed by her, and even though he's a little bit ashamed to admit this, he doesn't find her quite as attractive as he once did, given that she's gained quite a bit of weight. And, all this comes out because of the closeness they once had. So, they come outside onto this bright spring day, and they continue talking about things, And Hermia says, Puck, I think you're really handsome with that beard. I never would have thought it would look good on you, but it does. And they talk about how close they once were. Hermia's like, remember I used to give you those back massages? Well, how about one now to help relieve some of the stress? And yes, they feel it's great to see each other after so long. And they feel something there. A little spark that was there long ago. And they kiss. And they kiss again. And before you know it, they're stuck in the throes of passion. Yes. Oh boy. If Lucy finds out about this, she's not going to be happy. Puck, what are you doing? But it's, for the two of them in this moment, it's like old times. Once again. Just like things used to be. Way in the old days when they were teenagers, and there was nothing else in the world that they had to care about. But then Puck starts thinking a little bit more sensibly, and he's like, Hermia, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm still married to Lucy. I have kids. I have responsibilities. I can't be doing this kind of stuff. And Hermia's like, well, I understand. But, even so, she tries to tell Puck, there's only so much you have in your life right now. So, here's one for the road. And then Puck walks off to go home. And thus, this afternoon has got a lot more confusing for poor old Puck. Yes, indeed. Back at the house, it's pretty apparent that the maid doesn't really like the sound of Allie playing the piano, but you can't really blame Allie. She's only, just starting out, so can't expect too much. But, well, James was going to make lunch for everybody, being a nice guy, but there's no food. They ran clear out of food, so he's going to call the delivery. I think the maid's going to go home because she has a headache. Or after doing a few more things. But hey, Allie's getting creativity points, so maybe soon she'll be worth listening to. Hopefully, anyway. Well, time for the maid to get out of there, probably take some Tylenol or something. But, yep, there's the delivery truck. Man, Renee hasn't aged a day since she used to deliver food for Mike and Laura. I wonder what's in that food. Who knows. But yes, James puts the food away, and now he's free to make those lunch meat sandwiches. I mean, it is one of his aspirations after all, and no reason not to. Being a knowledge sim, James definitely wants to learn new things, including new forms of cooking. So he's making lunch for everybody. As Allie wraps up her piano playing and uses the bathroom there. Still in her swimsuit after all this time. And Lucy figures, well, might as well have some food. I've practiced enough speech today. Of course, Lucy has no idea what has been going on during the time that she has been practicing speech. Yes. In fact, nobody has. And here Puck casually walks in the door like nothing's happened, and they're all like, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like, "Doing all right. Miss anything?" "No, not really." Yeah, Puck's trying to be as casual as he can, although he feels the burning guilt as he sits there eating lunch with his family. And, well, Laura's off to use the bathroom and do some more practicing speech. So, James is going to make a special phone call while Allie practices more. James is going to call Rita, that girl that he saw at the shopping center. Yes, they struck it off fairly well, and he wants her to come over. So, he's excited and very nervous that she has accepted. Yes. So, Rita's here, and she says, "Hey, do you have video games? Well, let's go inside." And James, of course, is polite, letting her go in first. And they're going to challenge each other to a game of whatever the heck they happen to be playing. I don't like to think that the only thing they play is that skiing game, even though it looks like a cool game. I'd like to imagine them playing any number of other games. But yes, the competition rages on. Rita not really caring to say hi to any of James's other family members. I mean, they're all busy at the moment anyway. Puck with playing chess, and Allie on her piano, and Lucy back on the mirror, needing to get those points for her promotion. But they play together, and Allie, well, she can't really play the piano with all the noise going on, so she decides to come over to see what's going on. Although James, even though he loves his little sister, kind of feels it's lame to hang out with his little sister while he's, hanging out with the girl. So he puts his game console down. But he decides to get some more food for everyone. Yes, Puck tries not to think too much about what Lucy is thinking right now. Tries not to let anything show. But yes, Puck is getting out some soda, gonna drink that up. But Rita's getting a sandwich that's still left over from lunch. And she's like, man, James, what's up with your dad? He's acting kind of weird. And James is like, yeah, I don't know. He has been acting strange recently. And so Rita goes, hey, this is kind of lame. Want to come over to my house? And James is like, I don't know. And Rita's like, come on, it'll be fun. So James agrees. You know, always good to see a new place. So Rita leads the way after she's had her sandwich. James, leaving half his sandwich behind, goes and follows her. James follows Rita back to her house where she lives with her dad, a guy who everybody calls Punky for some reason. Yep, they find him in the living room, rocking out to some metal, but he gets out of there pretty quick. Yes, it's just the two of them living at this house. And James is very nervous being in this strange environment, but he tries to adapt. Really enjoying getting to know Rita, even as she is doing grabbing his butt and doing stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, let's rock out to some tunes here. Rocking out to some metal. Oh yes. And Rita's like, hey, come on here, hang out in my room with me. And she just casually lies across her bed. Yes, James is as nervous as can be, but he joins in with her on the bed here. Yes. Rita explains that she moved out of her mom's house a couple of years ago because she was really tired of her mom's uptight ways and would rather live with her dad. Her dad has several kids with several different moms, but doesn't really pay much mind to any of them other than Rita, because Rita sort of is like him in many ways. So they sit here and chat on the bed. James trying and kind of failing to be casual about the whole thing. Very nervous guy, hasn't ever seen himself in this kind of situation. But Rita gets up and just like, I'm going outside. Want to get in the tub? And James nervously follows. On the way to the hot tub. Yep, it's gonna be James's first time in a hot tub. Yeah, the Summer Dreams don't have one at their house. So he follows her, getting into the tub, very conscious about his belly as he changes into his swimsuit. So the two of them chill some more. Trying to break the ice a little bit, James splashes Rita with the warm water. But for whatever reason, Rita quickly gets tired of the hot tub and she decides she's going to go dive in. Yes, of course, James is very nervous, not sure if he did the right thing there or not. But Rita's going to take a plunge into the pool. Yeah. Good old cannonball. Can't go wrong. But James isn't going to hang out in the tub by himself. There's really no point to that. So he's going to come out and join her. Yeah. So he gets on the diving board himself, and belly flop. Oh well. Yep, well, at least it's better than chickening out. That would have been quite embarrassing if he chickened out in front of Rita like that. But they're getting a little bit hungry, so they're going to have a burger together. Yeah, Punky's hanging out there, having some, just doing whatever he's doing. Gonna watch some TV. And James, of course, is lagging behind the silly guy for whatever reason. But now he has his burger. And so Punky just stands there and he's like, Oh, well, Rita, you brought another boy over. And Rita's like, oh, you should talk, Dad. You bring enough girls over. And James is awkward, doesn't know what to say. Punky's all like, oh, so you're James Summerdream. You lose a bit of that pouch, boy. Of course, James doesn't feel too good about that. Yeah. Real jerk there, that Punky. But eventually he stops hanging around there, going off to chat on his computer with his friends, maybe trying to pick up some more chicks, knowing him. Yeah, but James is feeling a little bit down, but Rita's like, don't worry about him. He's a bit direct, but you know, he's a good guy. And so they just chat some more, having a good time, or as much of a good time as he can, given his nerves. Yeah. And so they're chatting a little bit, and everything seems normal at first, and then Rita's like, hey, you want to go back to my room and do some stuff? Yeah. Oh, I don't mind your punch, says Rita. But James feels distinctly uncomfortable and doesn't want to take things further than what they are. Rita, feeling the discomfort, just tells James to get out of there. She's annoying him too much, or he's annoying her too much. So he leaves, frustrated by his inability to even kiss her. Oh well, James, there will be other times. There will be. James walks back to the house, tired, disappointed, and very confused. Yes, he would have liked to have gotten further with Rita, but it just wasn't his day, I guess. He just felt awkward about the whole thing. Well, anyway, Lucy's going off to bed, and Puck's doing a few tasks. Yes, he does not feel at peace, obviously. And Lucy is going to bed. Poor Lucy, not suspecting a thing of what has gone on during this quite eventful day. Yes, Puck comes, considers going to bed with Lucy, but realizes he just feels too guilty. So he goes off and goes to bed in the spare room, all by himself. He can't even bring himself to lie in the same bed with his wife after what he has done. And he goes to sleep with very confused thoughts. Yes. Before James goes to sleep, he wants to have a quick word with Allie, because he wants to ask her if she's noticed anything different about their dad recently. And Allie hasn't really noticed anything. No, he seems to be acting fine, although he was kind of weird when he left in the middle of the day, she says. He just didn't really say what he was going to do. He just left, sort of. And James says, well, I'm a little worried. Things don't seem to be going as well as they could. I mean, Allie is very young, so she doesn't really realize what would be going on, but James is looking out for his little sister. He wants to be a good big brother to her. But it's time for Allie to go to sleep. Time to get some good rest for the young girl. And it's time for James to go to sleep as well. I mean, it's been quite an awkward day for him, and he's really going to have to think about this. Yep, think it all over. As he finally shuts his eyes and probably has very confused dreams. Yes, Lucy thinks it's odd that Puck never joined her, but she's already pretty well into sleep, so it doesn't really preoccupy her. She just sleeps on through. Yes, Puck, what are you doing? What are you doing, Puck? You're really making a mess of things, aren't you? Yep. And all through it, poor little Allie doesn't know anything at all. It's very sad. What's going to happen? Well, anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you liked it. Join us next time for some more sim action coming very soon.